call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. Sheriff, will you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'll ask for minutes from our last meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion. Hold on just a
I'll
second.
amend that motion. Did we get that time change?
corrected it, yes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the second set of meeting minutes with the time change.
Yes.
All right. We have a second on that.
Who's the second?
I changed yours.
You
Oh,
changed
I-
your,
Yes,
we
absolutely.
changed our,
I will second his motion
all
of the
right.
change.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Claims.
Make a motion that we approve the claims.
I will second that
We
motion.
have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? I think I actually see our veterans officer in here, and I would like for him to stand up and give us a little report. I know that's not on our agenda, but I saw him slip in. Introduce yourself. Tell us how everything's going, please, sir.
Chris Morrison, Veteran Service Officer. For the month of April, helped about 80 veterans, both by phone and by computer, about half and half. We're paperless now. Everything's electronic, and so people aren't required to come in to the office. They come in once, and once they have their signature and have it saved, I can file appeals on their behalf and save them a trip, and also save paper, save money with being paperless, and save people time. And so, moving into modern times with everything being electronic and packaging claims online instead of doing mail and paper and all that.
So are the people responding well to this?
They, yes, because the claims go through a lot faster. And, a lot of people, the older generation, some, not all, but some are not real computer savvy, and so it helps them getting in claims that way. And then I can track them to where they're at in the system when they're submitted that way. And soon I'll have an access card where I can get in and look into the VA system. Have to do some more background checks and paperwork to get all that. But, so that'll make things a lot easier and able to do more.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Health Department.
Yeah, we brought before the board about the STD boxes to be placed in the men's and the women's bathroom, so Ashley can explain more about that.
So I talked to the health board, that was off your recommendation from the last time, so basically just wanted to offer some urine, gonorrhea, chlamydia testing. We already did the blood stuff in the actual health department, but this we have to use the bathroom for, so the health board suggested that we would put a box outside of just one of the stalls in the men's bathroom and the women's bathroom. We would have the key, they would come in, ask for the keys, so they're coming for STD testing. Give it the key, they go in there, key in the cup, put it in there, no one will have to know that the rest of it in there. The only thing about the men's restroom is you might ask Greg across the way or Robbie or Tony downstairs just to make sure there's no other males in the bathroom before we go in there and grab it. But that was the health board's recommendation, and so we're just bringing it to you to see if we could possibly put a box in the bathroom to make it a little bit more discreet versus carrying a little Dixie cup through the lobby with a key.
Yeah.
So-
After talking to her, I said, I don't know enough about HIPAA, and so I feel comfortable with the recommendation of the health department of discreetness and where it would be placed. I think we already have the boxes, or the
We would
boxes
order
are
them
20.
for Amazon. I brought a picture
$20.
of what we ordered. There is like a little $30 box basically. It's got a key, it's just a metal box, it'll be easy to clean out. I'll wipe it out between each one. Kind of like if you go to a doctor's office and put it up in there, it's basically what it's gonna essentially gonna look like.
And I think it's great that our health department wants to expand services for our citizens, and the fact that health board is on board. I make a motion that we approve.
Okay, is that a motion? We have a
I will
motion.
second.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Anything else?
I don't think so unless you have any questions over, Tammy come up. about posting on, we've had people that have wanted to serve food out of their home and charge for that. That is against IC code, so we just put out educational information, stating the facts, you know, so I don't know.
Do we have anything out there about the, I don't know what the cottage or home, what's the term?
Home-based vendors.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
do we have anything out there like on our website or?
We talked about that today, and I said it would probably be a good follow-up for that, because,
To
you
show
know,
the differences?
yeah,
Yeah.
show the
Yeah,
difference
and
in why.
I've fielded a lot of phone calls about home-based vendors today, and even with the extension service sending them the rules, frequently asked questions on home-based vendors, because now they're getting calls. So, I think that we'll have to do a little bit of updating to the website to include that. But basically, when this complaint come in, you know, I talked to the district guy with the state. He said what IC code to put out there, that's what we did, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. I know there's a lot of feedback about, you know, the health department blocks comments, and I understand why. So,
No, I agree with the blocking comments, because the purpose of
Yeah,
our social
I-
media
and I-
policy
and I-
is
I-
information only. They have
right.
phone contact, email contacts, and,
And we have got a lot of calls today, because the food code changed last month on the 16th. What I plan to do, just so everybody knows, is September-ish, October-ish, doing town hall sessions with like the restaurants, stuff like that, to bring them up to date on all the new code, because there's like 46, and then a bunch of updated code. And then the schools asked me this past week for a private session just for their cafeteria workers, because they're gonna have a lot of new staff that don't know anything about food code. They're looking June, July, so I'm figuring what I'm gonna do is do all these sessions at the 4-H center, because it's more central, and then now I'll probably throw in one somewhere in there for home-based vendors.
I think that's awesome. I think that would be very helpful for somebody who is maybe already doing it, that might need some help to get through it, or somebody
Well,
thinking about
and-
doing something and they want to bring something up to commercial kitchen standards, you know.
Right,
That's helpful.
and I think a little bit of knowledge and information will probably take it a long way.
I think your social media post was very informative, just to educate our public, and I think it was an excellent idea. I think it's also a great plan for you to help educate those going forward. Isn't there also a new bill for, not necessarily a bill, but change in the food trucks? If you're licensed by the state, you don't have to individually come to each county.
Yeah, we'll have to see where that goes. There's a lot of questions being posed by local governments right now on how the money part's gonna work and all the inspections, because we will still be responsible for the inspections, but the license will actually come through the state. So we'll see. And then one of the changes that I've got going on right now is, we have to go back to, quarterly pool inspections for public, semi-public pools. So I'm working to build the iPools database, so, the new inspection form for that, food code, for the new code, it's now 3 pages, and right now the only version out is digital. So, since iPools is digital, I'm trying to see about transitioning to digital formats, so we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
All right, anything else?
You and Chris will get Jen running a computer soon. Everything going digital.
Did you see a big fly? All right, anything else? Thank y'all. Sheriff's Department.
Sheriff's Department, like I mentioned in the last meeting, we have the annual jail inspection coming up here next week. And Stella's been working diligently to get everything in order for that inspection. And then the other thing is this is Correction Officer Week. you know, that we had the telecommunication week 2 weeks ago, correction officer, so you can reach out to any of the people that work in the jail, they're truly behind the scenes, and most people don't see them very often, so just thank them for their job.
We appreciate them very much. Anything else? Thank you very much. Highway Department, I don't think we have anything. I have Ride Solutions.
So that's a resolution that I sent to you, that enables them to be able to apply for funding for public transportation in their grant application for 2026.
I'll make a motion that we approve the authorization for them to apply for grants.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right. Anything else on that? We're good? American Legal?
So these next two are for me and Daryl. Some invoices have come through. We would like to see if we could get funding from the CARES. The first one, the American Legal, it is the last part of that invoicing for the codification of the ordinances. This is the online version of it, so it's $561.60. And then the other one is for Daryl. Daryl actually has an invoice from Knowink, and it's for his election things. He has, the bill is for $11,827.50, but he already has funding for $9,232.54. He's looking to have the $2,594.96 paid out of CARES.
And is that legal?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I want to know. You all want to handle this separate or together?
I make a motion we approve the CARES Act money for American Legal.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Anything else on that?
No, what about the Knowink?
I'm
I'll
sorry.
make a motion for approval of the Knowink invoices
All right,
as well.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay.
Sorry, I thought it was all the same.
Yeah. Two separate.
Congressional.
Okay, I put this on here because I put it over there. It needs to be, it doesn't have to be approved through a meeting, but it does need to be signed. And since there was a question about this before as to what this is, I thought I would read what this is. So the Congressional School Fund was derived from the sale of the 16th section of land in each congressional township or land equivalent thereto granted or reserved to the inhabitants of East Township by the Act of Congress passed on April 19th of 1816. The principal of the fund must be perpetually held in trust. The amounts held in trust by the respective townships have not changed since 1932. So, Elaine has to report on this. We have to do this twice a year. Elaine fills out the paperwork. I send it off. You approve it. So there's 3 sets of people looking at this exact same amount since 1932. So there should be no questions about it at this point.
Been there for a while.
Yes.
All right, legal report.
We fielded questions from, I would say, if not all, at least most departments that there's been quite a bit of just general employment process questions, some interpretations of the municipal code, but really I don't think there's anything from terms of action items for you guys, no ordinances or resolutions or things you guys could need to vote on, but we have been busy answering questions from different people.
As always, thank you very much, Josh. Old business.
I'm still working on our credit card policy and procedures. Got with German American, and the process is not as simple as we originally thought. And I know we just went through our audit with the auditor's office, and so I told German American that we're going to wait till that dies off before I bombarded you. And so we're still working on that. I don't know if it's going to be something that we send out and we do it as a blanket of, hey, if you think you might want it in the future, let's go ahead and do it, because there are 2 years worth of financial audits every single time that we go for it. So it's pretty involved to get that taken care of, but we're still working on it. And the last thing is the email transfer. ECMonday has all of that information. I think they started last week on some of the transfers, and so departments won't, you won't be contacted until it's over. And I don't think you'll be contacted until it's over, and you really won't know because it's gonna have that 1 year forwarding to that new email anyways. So that's in the process, and I think once we have that email transferred, everybody's gonna have their Microsoft Suite. It's gonna make creating your team and your organization a little bit simpler. So, both of those are in the process. We were able to go through, internally audit. I think we were able to remove 12 or 14 accounts, that had just been on the books. So, we spent some money, but we also mitigated some of that expense.
Definitely appreciate that. Anything else on that?
Nope.
All right, new business, Tom?
Just come down and ask permission to shut Plum Street off again for our Street Fest on June 7th. We'll have partial street pinned off.
Just like we always do.
Yep, it's approved by the alcohol board as soon as it's approved here. For we will ask one member of the local law enforcement to be available on hand. We will also have everything tore down by about 8 o'clock or so on Sunday morning. And we will have music there, but we will shut the music down by about 10 o'clock at night.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request.
We have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Thank you, sir.
I want to thank you for always coming in and asking to shut down the road. I think a lot of times people don't understand that that's a requirement for our emergency management, for our police officers, so I appreciate you doing that. You're welcome.
Jay, did you have something?
Yes, I need to ask for permission to file for a grant through the state of Indiana. We're in the process of upgrading a level of care that we will be able to provide in the future. They said that Spencer County invented it, so they sent 2 people down here to talk to me about becoming a certified unit, which we've already jumped through one of the hoops, and Friday morning they will finish everything off and issue us a certification for that. But there is grant money that is available if you become that at that level. So we will be there on Friday morning, and from what I understand, I'm not for sure whenever the grant money will be available, because it may be a tight timeline, and I'm not going to be here, I don't think, in May. So what I need to do is just give them permission now to let me do it. There's no match from what I've been told by the state. It's anywhere from, I think, $30,000 to $75,000 to use as we see fit.
All right. I'll ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion that, we go after the no match grant.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I guess another thing we ought to say to you, Jane, thank you for helping us on all of our safety stuff too. For our highway department, for our sheriff's office. I don't think you're ever thanked enough for that.
We're here whenever you guys need us. We're all part of it. So we'll be willing to
Sometimes
do
I
it.
feel like we take the stuff that you do for granted, and I just want to say how much we appreciate you.
And you did not sleep in the courthouse during the flood, right?
I slept here the last time too. It's scary. Especially in that basement.
All right, as far as new business goes, anything else?
We have,
That wasn't me.
we have a letter, I think. Did you print that letter off for our approval of that Project Spark? It was sent in an email.
Whatever I printed off, I gave to you.
No, this was like about 30 minutes before.
It was him, it wasn't me.
I guess not. I can run and get it.
Yeah, we need it approved for today. I know, I'm pretty sure that RJL Solutions called both of you to talk about Project Spark and that we have our blessing.
When did you send this letter?
Things I like to hear. All right.
It wasn't me, it was RJL Solutions.
We have a gentleman in the second row who wants to say something.
Yeah, about a month ago when we were in here,
Please introduce yourself for the camera.
Jeremy Pinkham Insurance, walk down the street. Here to discuss to see if the commissioners have talked any more about a potential RFP for the upcoming group health insurance. From our own notes, it will be August 1. I know it doesn't seem that far out, but it's about 90 days out. And then also, as well as the workers' comp, if our notes are still the same, about 7-8 years ago, work comp came due sometime mid to end of June. So didn't know if you guys had any updates on that. I know we had a lot going on, but if you guys are going to open up your group health insurance to bid at all, sooner the better.
What would the process of an RFP look like if we went that route?
Well, since this is largely professional service, you have a lot of leeway if you want to follow the normal RFP process. We'd post a notice of it online, theoretically in a newspaper, although not required, you can. And then give them 30 days to respond. And now in that RFP, obviously you want to put the bare minimums of the coverage you want.
And so the 30 days would be,
You could theoretically make it longer, obviously. You can make it shorter for that matter, but
We don't need a motion to approve this?
but that would be the standard approach, would be 30 day, 30 day.
Our biggest thing is we want to make sure whatever we're working on, not taking coverages away from anybody, make sure providers are the same. Because we don't want to offer, if we were able to offer a quote, we don't want to save money, but then have the.
You want to compare apples to apples too,
Exactly.
basically, yeah.
so do you, if we open our RFP process, is there blind data of a list of current providers that anybody who bids it would have access to ensure that we are getting apples to apples of what we have currently?
I don't know if that is available, but you'd be allowed to share that.
Just no names, no birthdays?
Yeah.
Your TPA should be able to provide some sort of a claims report.
Yeah, that would be.
And that, on that reporting, it does not show any form of hidden information. It just gives dollar amount, just that information, nothing, no names or anything like that.
But it would have provider information as well, so
You can request it to have the provider information, but primarily when you request a claims report, it just gives dollar amounts, that's it, for that contract period.
because I know brochure, we just changed dental and attempt to save money. A lot of people are losing their preferred provider, and that is not a situation that we would want to get into.
Send those calls to Jimmy.
Well, I guess, what do y'all think?
I don't know that we approved the special commissioners meeting minutes. So I'll make a motion that we approve the special commissioners meeting minutes from April 15th. We only
Second.
approved the regular minutes.
So, we have a motion, and we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
So can we
Discuss it.
table
Get it.
table the
Next meeting.
insurance? Can we decide as a body what that RFP looks like? And then if we decide that that's the route we want to go, we could put it on the agenda for health insurance for next meeting. Is that acceptable or?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd also like to ask that we schedule a redevelopment meeting for, Monday, May 19th, at 5:30 here at the Commissioners.
Monday?
We have a solid waste meeting that night at 4. That would be a good way to,
All right.
RJL Solutions will be presenting the understanding of subdivisions,
What time did you say for redevelopment?
5:30. If that works.
That works for me. And is this a separate time from the RJL presentation or?
No, it's all at the same time
Okay.
with our redevelopment commission.
All right. Anything else? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
I haven't read it.
Do it.
I haven't read it.
No.
Thank y'all.
We just gotta give it back.
Except for the people in the second row.
Scan.